In Book 2, Chapter 18 of The Sun Also Rises, it's the final day of the fiesta, and Mike, Bill, Brett, and Jake share a meal. Mike flips over the table after a heated exchange with Brett about her relationship with Romero, but Brett shrugs it off. She's radiant and happy. Brett asks to go into a church to pray for Romero's final bullfight, but quickly feels uncomfortable and returns to the hotel to care for Romero's injuries. At the bullfight, Brett comments one doesn't mind the blood. Romero gives Brett his cape, but she's not sure what to do with it. Another bullfighter, Belmonte, draws boos from the crowd when he does not give them the tragic sensations they desire. Belmonte had once been considered a bullfighting legend, but when he came out of retirement and returned to the ring, he was never able to live up to his legacy and recapture his former magic. The audience sees him as an illusionist, creating the image of tension without ever being in danger. But Romero performs brilliantly, despite his many injuries. He kills the bull that gored the man the previous night, cutting off and presenting its ear to Brett in the crowd. Romero is carried out of the ring like a conquering hero. On the last evening of the fiesta, Jake and Bill go out drinking. Jake thinks Cohn will probably get back with Francis, and Bill describes the fiesta as a wonderful nightmare. Jake agrees, saying he believes in nightmares. Jake drinks to attempt to stave off his depression. Brett and Romero leave for Madrid. Bill, Jake, and Mike share one final drink, as Jake thinks it seemed as though about 6 people were missing. For each of the characters, personal conflicts come to a close in the final chapter of Book 2. Brett has made her romantic choice, Romero. Cohn leaves, while Jake and Mike fade out of the scene as the narration focuses solely on Romero's spectacular performance during the final fight and, symbolically fitting, his victory. There are hints of foreboding despite Brett's radiant happiness. When Romero presents her with his cape, she doesn't know what to do with it. And when he presents her with the bull's ear, the reader already knows that she left it wrapped in Jake's handkerchief in the back of a drawer at the hotel. Maybe Brett has simply found another injured man to care for, like she did during the war. And now that the passion of the fiesta is over, she will leave Romero once he's well. Belmonte was once filled with pride and honor, yet after his career ended, he was unable to return to those ideals. Audiences who once adored him turned against him, leaving him feeling bitter and isolated. Similarly, soldiers returning from the war struggled to reconnect with friends and family, which further angered and isolated them. Like Belmonte, the lost generation relies on distractions and tricks to create an illusion of happiness. But no one is fooled. The bullfighting fiesta is somehow like the war, full of violence and death, blindness and distraction.